Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whatever time zone you may be in. This is Off the Grid Podcast with Aiden and Jared.
Getting all those access to the truth.
And today, unfortunately, we don't have Nathan with us for this podcast. But we are going to move on.
Yes, the show must go on, so...
Yes, as they say in the showbiz.
Yes, and we have a really interesting topic for you guys tonight. We're going to be talking about marijuana, also otherwise known as cannabis, right?
Mm-hmm, or pot, right?
As the stoners call it.
Yeah.
Stoners. But Jared, I want to ask you first, why is this a big issue right now?
I think it's a big issue because the younger generations nowadays are starting to lean towards this new drug, or relatively new drug.
Yeah.
That and they're really seeing it as like it's the new cigarette in my eyes. You know, like the new it's taking up the world by storm like a cigarette did.
Yeah, well, which is, I mean, in my eyes is good because it doesn't contain all that tar and stuff in it. But
right.
yeah, it's still widespread. Yep.
Yeah, it's
still
not
widespread. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as bad as a cigarette. Obviously.
Yeah.
That's like the basis of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's still a drug. You know, like even this right here. Like this is caffeine, coffee right here. Aiden has caffeine too.
Donuts, yeah.
This is a drug, and the
majority
majority.
It's a stimulant.
Yeah, and the majority of America is addicted to it.
Yeah.
I mean, no, literally, dude. Like 95.
Yeah, 95% of the U.S. Yeah, is addicted. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that. Yeah. I mean, so, and I
it's
mean,
ridiculous, but I mean, it's not.
We can't get over I mean, yet, does caffeine kill anyone? I mean, have you been reports of caffeine killing anyone?
Like
Actually, really?
Well, like with energy drinks, is it the caffeine that kills, or is it something else?
No, it's like the taurine and crap. Like it's like the sugar and all the stuff. It causes you to crash. The stuff that causes you to crash, it kills you.
But it's certainly like caffeine still makes your heart
helps.
like
it certainly helps. Yeah.
Your heart makes your heart go really fast though. So depending like how much caffeine you take in.
That's salt content too in it.
Yeah.
Combined with it goes to your heart. Combined with your heart beating fast. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, it could be bad.
Yeah.
So the question today that we're trying to answer, we're trying to come down to like a consensus on is should marijuana be completely legalized throughout the US?
We mean recreationally, not just medically, because medically it's going to be legalized, so.
Yeah, and there's even just medically and recreational, or it could be, and I have it here in the notes, but it could be decriminalized. Like, it could come down to that, too.
Not fully legalized, but you won't get, like... I mean, you might still get, like, punishment, not as severely. Like, you won't get jail time, and you might have to pay a fine.
Yeah.
Or something. I mean, a fine, not a fine. Fine. A fine for it.
Well, like, or prison time, depending, like, say the cop pulls you over, and he finds out that you have marijuana in the back of your car.
Yeah, but if you aren't using it, I don't think you should get jail time. I mean...
Right.
You just have to pay a fine, and, you know, I mean, that's my view, but, I mean, yeah, but, okay, so, Jared, what is...
So, before, I wanted to kind of get in... Sorry to cut you off. What were you going to say?
Actually, we have to do this first, actually, because I was going to ask you a question, but, yeah, okay.
So, before we get into basically, like, the nitty-gritty of it, actually getting into the opinions of Aiden and I, we want to get some actual stats out there, some real facts of like where the U.S. stands on everything
this.
Here, because
and how it's consumed and what the effects are.
Yeah, so like if you live in Ohio, like we do, you can't have marijuana for recreational use. It's only medical.
Very sadly.
And so we're gonna go through some of the stats here that shows all the states like where they stand. I'm not gonna name them specifically because
not all 50 states. That would take
because it'll take a long time to name out all of the states.
But just gonna give you the numbers.
Yeah. Okay. So the number of states where marijuana is fully illegal is 15 of the 50 states.
Okay.
So that's
one of them is Ohio, obviously.
No, it partially. Because it's medical. Remember, we have it for medical. So it's not fully.
I wonder something then.
What's that?
Is it the part of Ohio with all the cornfields and stuff that it's legal? Because that would make sense. The part like with all the farming and stuff is. That would make sense if it's legal in that area. Like in southern Ohio.
You know what, though? They still they enforce a lot of these laws real closely because
It's still
My
Ohio, so
my
I mean,
grandma, has a woods out in her backyard.
yeah.
I mean, a real big forest, and she has airplanes that will fly over the woods,
Yeah.
and they fly pretty low because they're looking for people
People that
growing stuff out in the woods.
So they shouldn't be growing.
Yeah, they're making
Yeah.
sure, because when you're out there and kind of like more in the country kind of area,
You're more isolated, so that means you can get away with more.
yeah,
Yeah.
because they think, oh, because they think, oh, no one's gonna see it out here, but people will actually get up in.
First of all, it's invasion of privacy. First of all, I mean, if they're in your field, flying over your field. I mean.
Yeah, they really want to enforce it sometimes.
I mean, why, well, we're gonna into it. We're gonna into it.
Yeah.
So, Joe, what are some of the, what's
no,
the next stat?
Yep. So the number of states where it's fully legalized is 11 of 50,
Okay.
and that's along with District of Columbia or DC.
Washington, D.C. Good on you, D.C. That's one thing I do agree with you with.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And so the next one is number of states where marijuana is medical and decriminalized. So it's not recreational.
No, but you won't get punished as severely for being
Right.
found with it. And how many states are there?
That is 8 of the 50.
Okay.
The biggest one, before I move on, the biggest one out of here was the 15 of 50, and that
Fully
was for the
illegal.
fully illegal.
Yeah.
So most states have a similar belief that it should be fully illegal
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
But the next stat is number of states where marijuana is only for medical use, and that's 14 of 50. That's the second biggest stat there.
Wow.
So
actually,
they,
that's unsurprising, really. That's not really surprising.
which I do have some stuff to say about the medical, my opinion on
Yeah.
the medical marijuana portion of it,
But
but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Number of states where marijuana is decriminalized, 3 of 50 only. So they still, even in these states where it says decriminalized,
No,
you
have
can
to
still
pay a
get in
fine
trouble.
for it, Pay a fine.
Yeah, you can still get in somewhat trouble. If you click on the link there that I put,
Yeah.
I found a graphic from Deeza.com,
Ooh.
and it shows it shows a breakdown of all the states, what they stand on it, what their stance is.
Okay.
Well,
Ooh.
is it showing up for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah,
Wow,
so let me
wow,
just get
wow,
to that
wow.
real
Fully
quick.
Illegal medical. Wow. So Ohio is like on the fence then.
Yeah, it shows that we are legal status is mixed. Medicinal is yes.
Decriminalize and reduce. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're not fully like,
Ha.
you know.
Unsurprisingly, California and all those states have it.
Even Alaska. See,
Yeah.
look.
And Hawaii does too. Oh wait,
No,
wait,
Hawaii-
that's Alaska. It's Alaska.
I don't like.
I thought it. Wow.
I think they should have changed the colors a little bit.
Oh wow, really? Wow.
Yeah.
No, I mean, take a look at Florida. That's surprising, actually.
Yeah, that Florida isn't fully legalized.
Yeah, because like it's Miami and stuff, so you'd expect
Like
all those
party-
waves
like
and stuff.
parties and-
yeah, Miami
yeah.
City and stuff. Yeah, I thought it would.
Maybe that's the
Party
exact
City.
reason why they don't want it fully legalized. You know.
That's a point.
Uh-huh.
Oh come on! The state right above us, Michigan. Come on, it's fully legal. Come on.
Actually,
that makes me mad.
speaking of Michigan, there's a with all of the college students that, like I mentioned, a lot of the younger audiences are, like you and me,
Yeah.
are wanting to try marijuana, and a lot of them are in college, like I am. And my girlfriend, she knows this one girl that smokes marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want to guess where she gets her marijuana from? Michigan. She gets her supply over there. There's a seller in Michigan that she talks to in order to get what she wants.
Yeah, by phone, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to, because, wait, it's fully legal, never mind. Wait, but...
Yeah, I know, but it's bringing it over to a state.
I was going to ask you that question. How do they bypass the laws then?
Oh,
How do they bypass, like, borders and stuff, you know?
Oh, Aiden, they sneak it around. I mean, it's not like...
I know, but, like, border patrols are pretty freaking thorough. I mean,
well, they don't have border patrols between states. Like, if you're driving on
like the toll booth, though. I mean, you wouldn't think that someone would see that?
Well, that's why you hide it. I mean,
but they
like...
wouldn't smell it?
You know, like, you're not allowed to illegal search and seizure, of your property. Like, they have to have a good reason in order to search your vehicle.
And,
So like a
and
cop
good enough
can't
at
just
not getting nervous.
see a cop can't just be like, "Oh, look, I see a bag of chips on the back seat. I need to investigate.
weed,
There's
yeah.
probably weed back there." What? You
What?
know, like that doesn't even make.
That's
There's no
why they do-
correlation
that's why-
between there.
But then again, that's why they smuggle it and that kind of stuff. Because
Yeah, I
they
know,
that-
but like,
yeah,
say if they smelt weed in the car, then that
They're-
would
they're
be
a
a good
viable-
indication that.
that's
oh,
what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
They should have. You know what? No, they shouldn't because of my petition. But I mean, it would probably help at least until it's legalized fully. If they had dogs,
Mm-hmm.
like if they had like at least 2 policemen with dogs on the border, so that they can smell. A dog can smell if they have that they bring anything in.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but yeah, I mean, yeah. So that's surprising, and then she can like bring it over like the borderline and doesn't really get caught.
Yeah. I mean,
That goes to show you that it still doesn't work. I mean, that's one of my points, is that it still doesn't work.
Right.
Even with passing borderlines and stuff. I mean, so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like, along the lines with the smell, like just like I
I
mentioned,
it does smell bad. I mean, I will
weed
admit that.
just
it
does. I mean,
yeah,
like
it just smells horrible.
she was actually roommates with this girl that smoked weed,
Yeah,
and
she probably like.
she smoked weed in the room like when Victoria
First of all,
wasn't
it's
there.
not allowed, right? In the college, that's not allowed, right? I mean, but I think obviously it's
Oh
not.
no, it's not. Like she
Yeah.
even had like alcohol in the room too. Like she was drinking too,
gosh,
and she drinks full bottles of wine and all that.
Goodness
It's like,
gracious.
I know, and
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
but
Goodness
like
gracious.
she smoked in the room when Victoria wasn't there, and the stench would like stick to the clothes in the room.
So she could tell.
So
that
like
she
when
was
Victoria
she
like,
could tell that she
oh
was
yeah,
smoking.
she knows
yeah.
what it smells like. I mean, good golly, she lives in Akron, so you know,
She probably smells that all the time. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like it's all over. So
Yeah.
um,
And oh my god, the worst thing about before we move on
Mhm.
is like it's like cigarettes. It sticks to your clothes. And like it's just, I mean, that's the one thing I don't like about weed. If they can make it smell better, I mean,
yeah,
if they can make it smell not as bad, I mean, it would help their cause. You know.
I think it's more of like a thing for us that are non-smokers. Like
Yeah.
when we smell.
Well, that's something that's just really quick. I'm sorry, sorry to interrupt, but people who have smoked cigarettes have been not prescribed, been given weed to help combat that. In case you like, that's interesting. You know,
Yeah, it is.
to help their actual smoking problem, like they've been given like weed.
I don't know if that would be really helpful in helping you stop smoking. It would just
not as a smoke, like they do in one of the other ways, like edibles or one of the kind of like the tobacco
I can
gum
say,
that they
okay,
have.
yeah, I can, yeah, like the nicotine
Nicotine gum, yeah.
yeah, nicotine
Yeah.
gum
Yeah.
or the nicotine patches.
Mhm.
They do those too. I'm not sure exactly
They give 'em
how
edibles.
effective they are, you know, but
They've helped. They say they've helped
yeah, I'm sure they have, but I'm just not sure how effective they are as
because you've never used it.
Yeah,
obviously, yeah.
yeah, I haven't
Mhm.
actually needed to test it.
Neither of us have.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Thankfully, because I don't want to
Yeah.
smoke. But Aiden, you have some ways that people consume cannabis. What's that?
well, it can be consumed with inhalation, which I think
Is the more typical way of doing it?
no. Inhalation is like when you go like kind of like a inhaler where you go, and the oral is the no wait yeah, you're right, inhalation is the way to
Yeah,
'cause
because that's
smoking it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be like that.
No,
you
no,
know.
it's- like that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But the less like the less way that people do it, I guess you could say, is all food and drinks. So like, I'm sorry I made this joke in the Celia podcast about pot brownies. Like
Oh
stuff like
yeah,
that. Like
remember
edible
Putin's pot brownies?
Putin's
Yeah,
pot brownies. So Putin, if you're listening to this podcast is for you.
yeah.
Or cream. A topical.
Which actually,
cream,
I never heard of
interesting.
that.
Yeah, me neither.
I think that's probably more of a.
As a weed enthusiast, I've never heard of that before.
I don't think that's a real popular way of doing it.
Yeah.
Probably because it doesn't have that effect of getting someone
Mhm.
high off
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, it's just like just to have
Is it
It's,
okay? So my question, since you're this weed enthusiast,
Well, okay. First of all, before we move on, we do not condone. Neither we haven't smoked it either. So before we go into this, just say we don't condone the use of it since it's not legal.
and
we
I think
haven't
you're
done it,
already
so-
getting an idea of what side Aiden is on.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. The only reason I haven't done it is because it's not legalized. But yeah,
Mhm.
we're gonna into all these reasons. So I mean, we're gonna give you some actual cool facts. So yeah, it's gonna be cool.
All right, so Sorry, let's get into the pros and cons of
yeah.
consuming cannabis
Yes.
because
That's
that
important. That's important. First of
this
all.
is what holds a lot of people back. Like especially me. Like I wouldn't want to have some of these side effects. It's not available.
Yeah. So as you said another, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be really
Sorry about
interesting,
that, guys, for
sorry,
not
but
having that ready to
ready
go.
for
Oh,
you.
11 things to know. Okay, I got it on here.
11 things to know.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Okay.
All right, so do you mind if I talk a little bit too?
Yeah. So I mean, you can mention the first things. Actually.
I know like this is taking from a different perspective. Because like I already mentioned that I don't really care for weed.
Yeah. I mean. Well, actually, I do.
Aiden wants to try it, right?
Yeah, I've said that, and I actually want to. I might be psycho. I'm sorry, but I want to move further than that and actually try psychedelics. That's what I really want to try.
Which
But,
actually, that's alluding to our next podcast.
Yeah.
Aiden wants to talk about that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about climate change at some point.
Well,
but
and why that's a scam. We can both agree that that's a
Oh,
scam.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a scam.
Oh boy, I'm gonna go
have a field
to
day
town
with
on that.
We're gonna have a field day. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's from health.com, right? That article.
yeah, health.com.
Remember they to know about pot in your health.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So my stance on it right now. Let me just say what my stance is.
Yeah.
My stance is where I don't want it necessarily to be legal, just because like there's a side of me like I'm kind of like torn, you know what I mean?
You're on the fence.
Yeah, like I'm on the fence where I'm like, okay, it can really help our economy
Can you
because
imagine how much money would be brought
yeah,
in
it's
if
a booming it's a booming business.
Yeah.
And like say if I was to like I even thought about it myself. I'm like, well, if Ohio legalized marijuana, should I start a business and start growing my own?
And then you'd probably have to smoke it anyway to test it.
No, I wouldn't have to.
No, you'd have to test it. To test if your weed is good or not.
Not
if it's
necessarily.
crap.
I would have other people come in and test
like
it.
a survey kind of like with people.
I'm not risking my own health.
Fine.
All right, you do it. You're gonna be my official weed tester. Okay.
Oh man. Oh my goodness gracious. Woo. 420G.
Yeah.
Classic moment if you guys don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is some interesting stuff in this article. Wow.
So so the first one I wanted to mention that it can help with anxiety and PTSD, which Aiden kind of mentioned that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, he's talking about with me. I don't think there's a whole much to really talk about with that, like specifically.
Well, I'll read the study that they did. So there's a study published in Drug and Alcohol Dependence that they found a very low dose of THC is one of the main compounds in marijuana to help people feel less nervous about a public speaking task. Wow.
Okay.
That kind of pertains to us.
Yeah.
Because like we're podcasting, it may not be that simple. Dosage equivalent to only a few puffs on a marijuana cigarette. So not a normal joint, basically, is what they're saying. Okay.
Right.
Indicates, yeah. Other research suggested that marijuana may be more harmful than helpful for people with certain mental health conditions like psychosis and bipolar disorder, which is a question for me, because I have ADHD, ADD, like Asperger's and stuff, so I don't know how that would affect my brain differently than like say you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My question is like with those. Okay, so I don't know if you would know this answer, Aiden, or not, because I certainly don't.
Should I?
With helping with anxiety and PTSD, do you have to consume it through inhaling it, or can you do it through other consumption? Is there like a restriction with how?
Let me ask. I mean, let me wonder. They do it with edibles, but it can be done inhaling it. But they usually do it like a pill. Well, it's not a pill, but like like it's an edible basically.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how they do it.
Which is probably better than
because
inhaling
it's like a pill.
Because
it's actually more like a pill.
Think about this: like if you are inhaling the smoke from marijuana,
that's gonna mess up your lungs a little.
Yeah, because think about it: anything you put in your lungs other than oxygen is horrible for it.
Well, I mean,
you're not supposed to be putting, other chemicals in your.
Even the vaporizers are like, I mean, even that, it's kind of they still do a little bit of harm.
Yeah, you just don't. You just don't want to put things in your lungs that aren't supposed to be there, because with the e-cigarettes, and that's also very popular with.
That can be another podcast we have because that's been said to be more dangerous than
actual cigarettes
because of the oil. Yeah.
because they're calling it this new phenomenon called a soggy lung disease.
Yeah.
And
it basically makes your like lungs soft and
yeah, basically
soggy,
just from
like,
the
kinda like
moist.
cereal.
Because think about this. You know, like when you know how water has these different cycles, right?
Yeah.
And water turns into a vapor.
Yeah.
And it turns into like a
I
liquid.
think that's why
again.
they call it.
But
this,
when you
'cause
put
it's like,
think about a jar, okay, and there's a lot of moisture in it. If it turns and it's a gas, but then
Yeah.
it starts to get condensation on the
Yeah.
side. There's liquid. You can see droplets
Yeah.
all over it. That's probably what your lungs look like. You know, like just look on the inside of that, and there's probably like not good.
Yeah, not good at all. Yeah, so that's that article.
And then we're running through some of the
Oh
different.
yeah,
Yeah, and then it can relieve chronic pain and nausea.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I also
because
did
a lot
something
of drugs with like I mean with MDMA for example, during the what they call it the come up during the come up, a lot of drugs like in you and getting ready to feel the effects. You can have like nausea, vomiting and stuff.
Okay.
So I mean I guess that's just during the come up. I mean because weed also has a come up stage. So I mean
Right.
yeah. I mean that's probably just what it is.
But
or this next one, I kind of want to read this one.
No.
Actually, I'm gonna read the next one. You read this one because I want to talk about the next one after.
But yeah, people with epilepsy may benefit, even kids. I don't know if I would be giving my kids marijuana.
He barely try weed.
That's not regular brownies.
No.
Those are pot
Mommy,
brownies.
why is there a leaf in this?
Oh wait, that wasn't supposed to be for the kids.
Oh God,
That
the way that they worded that is perfect. People with epilepsy may
yeah,
benefit
they put that
even
dash
kids.
there. That really helps.
Kids try some weed. It'll solve all your problems. Oh my word.
All right, so what's the next one, Aiden?
It may be a safer alternative to opioids. Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna read this, obviously. Despite beliefs that marijuana is a gateway drug, research suggests that the use of medical marijuana may actually reduce dependence on dangerous prescription painkillers like those fueling the nation's opioid epidemic. And you know this, Jared, I know this. There's an opioid epidemic right now, especially in Ohio.
Yeah,
Ohio's been known
even
for
in
this
our
recently.
area right now.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the Hartville and Uniontown area
Yeah.
has that epidemic going on with opioids. So it's kind of scary because you don't think about it, like, because for anyone who doesn't know, we're in a smaller town, so we kind of think, oh, that's not going to happen in our town.
No, but it's happening.
Just like school shootings and stuff, you think, oh, that's not going to happen.
No,
it does.
Yeah.
So
and opioids were the things that killed Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that that's related, but I mean.
I'm just saying, yeah, it's true though.
Yeah, opioids have taken some of our greatest people away from us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yet that's legal, but marijuana isn't.
Now I'm thinking this next one is interesting. Were you done with that last one?
I was gonna say human trials have been limited because the people that did the study were doing trials on people, opioids versus marijuana.
Yeah.
And human trials have been limited because of marijuana's classification as a Schedule I drug. But the authors argue that more studies are urgently needed, which the schedule system is messed up, but we'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
It's messed up as it is. I hate the drug classification system. I absolutely hate it.
Right.
But we'll get into that.
All right, so the next one is interesting. It may have anti-cancer effects, but research is limited. So any different way that you can find to cure cancer is a good thing in my book.
Well, it doesn't say it cures it; it's anti-cancer, so it might just,
Well, it says something here about its studies have shown that the oil may inhibit the growth of cancer cells outside the body, but there have been
haven't been any real life trials to back up these findings. Yeah.
So wait, so is it increasing then? I'm
may
confused with
inhibit
how.
the growth, meaning it stops it.
Okay.
May stop. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I just read it wrong. So that could.
That's interesting. Wow.
That could be like a alternative to like chemotherapy or something like.
Because we all know that radiation freaking destroys you. Yeah.
Yeah, and it causes you to lose your hair. Yeah. So that's another big thing.
That's an effect of it. Yeah.
I think I'd rather be alive than, or rather lose my hair than be dead. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, me too. Yeah. I mean, but
it's still a bad thing.
This hair.
Yeah. So, but let's start looking at some of the risks of this, though. And did you want to talk about the risks and kind of like contradict your own thing? Just kind of get your insight on it.
Okay.
I mean, why not? Let's mix it up.
Yeah, let's mix it up a little bit. All right. So as pot becomes more prevalent, I like the way we worded that. More pregnant women are getting high, which
is bad.
Actually, yeah, that is bad.
Because there's a lot of
that would be one of the laws that you can't. If it was legalized, that would have to be a law that I put down. You can't,
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Or you can't combine it with other things. You have to. I would be like a bunch of stuff, like depending on if I take SSRIs and depending on if you're drunk at the time, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things you can't do when you're pregnant. Like one of them is obviously smoke.
High. Yeah.
Smoke at all.
Oh,
I mean, anything. I mean, you can't do that. You can't.
Especially
you
not
can't.
psychedelics.
No alcohol. No. Certain foods you can't have.
Especially not LSD or any of that stuff.
Yeah, and you can't go on roller coasters.
Yeah.
You can't do rides. You can't go on airplanes
you basically have
to
to
an
stay
extent.
home and you have to stay home and be lazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, which is understandable why.
I mean, you got to be cautious, obviously.
We talked about this in the last podcast. I mean.
Yeah, with the abortion podcast,
which was a great one. That was a great podcast.
Yeah, which actually the one it'll probably be socialism podcast that would be out, but that was probably the one before last.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one's a pretty obvious risk there.
Yeah.
I didn't really even think about it.
Yeah, it says
until I saw that.
Yeah, just real quick though to just finish us off. There's another study done in prevention science, and they found that people that tend to cut back on marijuana use once they have kids, but they don't always quit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's saying like it's in the kids' genes because they used it. So maybe that.
Well, it could affect their growth, and like it says here, it could.
It
says
birth defects and stuff, like
prenatal exposure to marijuana is associated with developmental and health problems in children, including low birth weight, anemia,
low birth,
and impaired impulse control, memory, and attention. Which actually reminds me, there's another risk in here. We might actually mention it, but I just wanted to. It could cause issues with your memory. With your brain cells.
Because it does affect your brain directly, yeah. That's what it's targeted to do. So, I mean, that
would
surprise me, yeah.
So, this is where it's scary. Because remember how we mentioned I believe in the socialism podcast, where we talked about...
Brains aren't fully developed, yeah.
Yeah, they're not developed until you're about 30. Is like what,
I think,
30-something they agree on. That generally everyone agrees with.
Most scientists agree, yeah.
Yeah. And it's scary because it could affect your brain as you're growing,
That's why, like I said, laws can help, but I mean, still, even at 21, your brain's not fully, developed yet. So I mean, it's probably more than halfway there, though. I mean, so,
right.
I mean, if it's more than halfway developed, I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but yeah.
I mean, like if you're like 40 years old and you're like, well, I want to smoke marijuana. It's not like...
Well, first of all, if you're 40 years old, I hope that you'd be doing more than smoking marijuana. Like, I hope that you have a business for yourself and stuff like that,
Well, yeah, I mean...
Making money and stuff like that.
Yeah, obviously to support it, because I'm sure marijuana is expensive, just like cigarettes.
If you've had a bad day at work, you just need to, relax.
That's also something to look into. If anyone knows, like, the comparisons on marijuana and cigarettes, like the prices...
Let us know.
Yeah, because let us know in the comments just about, like, what's the price difference between the two, because I know, like...
Cigarettes, yeah. Like, cigarettes are freaking expensive.
They can be, like, $7-8, like, just for one little pack.
Not that I've ever smoked cigarettes. I don't smoke those either.
Yeah, I know.
But I've just seen them walking in the stores. They're expensive.
I know, because they do it on purpose, so then people will be like... Them.
Yeah, Marlboro is the most popular
which doesn't help. It just, like, actually, the business makes more money because it's such high prices.
And it fuels their addiction.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said. We said it previously when we started this podcast.
Right.
Smoking marijuana can help with smoking addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just get these last ones in here real quick.
Yeah.
So the heart problems that could make extra risky. So that's one of them, heart problems.
And then marijuana and driving, obviously.
Yeah, that's...
Same thing as drunk driving, so we don't really need to explain that. I mean...
And weed smoke, like we mentioned, is still smoke, and it still has health risks.
Yeah. And that's pretty self-explanatory too. I mean, like stuff like gum disease, stuff like that. So.
And the obvious recreational users, less is safer.
Yeah, because there'll be a probably explosion of people using it.
Same thing with cigarettes. Like if you consume a lot of cigarettes during the.
I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
And there's a condition here I can't really pronounce.
Cannabinoid hypomesis syndrome. Yeah, I've heard about this. It can I've heard about this actually. It can cause severe nausea, vomiting, and abdominal pain.
Mm-hmm.
Abdominal pain I've experienced before, and you don't want that. So.
That's not good.
No, it's not at all.
So.
Yeah.
So okay, so we're gonna have to end this part 1, and then we're going to go into part 2. We're gonna move a little bit more quicker on part 2, and we're going to discuss some more things about marijuana and get our opinion more on it, right?
Yeah.
So definitely see us for next time, and please hit the subscribe button and like button and leave us a comment. You can find us on Apple Podcasts and YouTube, so check us out there. All right, see you guys.
See ya.